I don't know if he has So sorry, we couldn't be here. She sent me a text message and I got back. Are you doing pictures?
Eunice. If I don't say hi to you, you're going to get mad at me. Yeah. Oh, no, my nephew turned 16. On Carla's side. Yeah. Yep. It's good to see you. Abby.
Go on up, Jim. It's all right.
All right.
Am I supposed to be up here or not up here?
All right. Are we smiling? All right. Oh, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Thank you. Good job. Good job. Yay. Good job. Good job. No, I'm going to stay up here. I would go ahead and put it up. It'll pay me out. It'll pay me out. Go to price.
It blends in?
Yeah.
Did it break the camera?
Oh, look at me crack. No, you're the good nerd. We're glad you didn't bring any to work with you. Thanks.
I've been everybody's happy about that.
I want to thank everyone for being here today, and this is my first time up here, so if I sound nervous, I am. Those are big shoes to fill, and well, we'll see how it turns out.
That'll be great.
This is the 9th annual Shawl presentation, and everything you see here was handmade with, from our many volunteers. As Pastor already said, it was, this ministry was started by Ruth Green in 2014. And as you know, she can't be here because of surgery this week. But she's faithfully led ordinary women using simple tools and resources, books, needles, fabric, yarn, to produce beautiful and useful things to show the love of God to others. Each of the volunteers would like all the glory to go to God for the blessings they will bring and to honor Him for the talents and abilities He's given them. Today we're going to introduce those who are to receive these items. Some are here, some cannot be here, and to recognize those who created them and to hear some of the resulting blessings that have been received this past year. First, Carla, we want to thank you. You don't know. Putting up a display like this is amazing. Physical, mental, thoughtful. I just can't imagine. Thank you, Carla. And it isn't just on this weekend. It goes on throughout the year. She's been an invaluable asset to the ministry, and we thank her. So let's just ask a simple blessings on God's presence with us today. Loving Father, we give you the praise for what you've accomplished through the skills and abilities and the prayers of the ladies who created these beautiful items. We want to give you all the glory, and we ask your blessing on our time together today. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, we're going to start right away with Abby. Has a presentation to make.
I'm representing my mother-in-law as well. She was not able to be here. With the microphone? Okay. All right. She was not able to be here, but she was able to present a shawl to our neighbor, my neighbor lady, actually hers as well. She's dying with cancer, and we weren't sure if she was going to be able to make it this long, so we presented it to her early. I did not ask her to come because I didn't want to insult her that we gave her a shawl early. It was a little awkward, but she was very glad to receive it, and we prayed with her and visited with her. My mother-in-law also gave a shawl to an older lady that was at the hospital on one of Dad's visits to the hospital, one of his stays, and she was a wonderful Christian woman that was struggling, and so my mother-in-law gave her one of her shawls as well. And then she made several shawls for the funeral home, and then she made 4 blankets for the pregnancy center. That's what she's doing when Dad's in the hospital and when she's sitting there and he's watching football. So thank you to my mother-in-law. We'll present hers first. And then I was able to have the blessing of making a lap blanket for Haley now. She's struggling with thyroid cancer. She's a young lady that has attended our church for many years. Her mom was going to receive that on her behalf. So, did you want me to give that to her? Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure what to make. I was going to make her a shawl, but I called her mom, and she said she would not use a shawl, but she would love a lap blanket, and her favorite colors were red and black. I made the pattern, took 3 colors, so I softened the red and black with white, so I hope she likes it.
We did get good news, it is shrinking.
Good.
It's with 3 inches to 1 something. Wow. And then once it gets down to a half an inch, they'll pop it. And she's there right now, you see. She has 2 kids, so she received lots of credit. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
I was able to make 2, I was inspired by Tara. I was able to make 2 little small ponchos for children for the funeral home because sometimes little children may lose a loved one. And we were told that blue was the most asked for color, so there's 2 little blue ones up there that I made, little ponchos for small children for the funeral home. Thank you.
All right, next, Eunice.
Neither of my people are here. One of them is my neighbor. She's very, well,
Pastor has a letter.
yeah, she's not.
You got it.
She's a very dear lady, and I've known her for probably 10, 12 years now. She's a very colorful person, but she's a very loving person. And she never leaves you when you leave her house, and when she leaves your house, the last thing she says is, I love you. And she has had a really rough year. She's, it had to do with a relationship and then some other issues and health issues. She's had to put surgeries on the back because of some of these issues. But anyway, Jackie Hale. And I don't know where she is this morning. I reminded her last night she was going to be here, but something must have come up. My other person. Oh, yes. No, that's okay. This is Jackie Shawl, and it stretches, so it's not as small as it looks. But anyway, this is for Jackie, and she really wanted to be here. She was with me at the last tea that we had, and she just loved it. So, and I know she was looking forward to it. So, if you think about it, whisper a little prayer for Jackie because something might have happened. I don't know. And I didn't have my mic, and I bet they all heard it. I got the memory now.
Yeah.
My next person was Jeff Schultz, and she's got a letter to read from him. Yep.
Jeff had planned on being here today, but he sent a note. instead. He's disappointed, to say. I woke up with a scratchy throat and stuffy nose, sore throat, and heavy feeling in his chest. I hope I'm not coming in for another round of COVID. Please give my deepest apology to the maker of my shawl and for praying for me. I feel bad about disappointing her. I want to do a face-to-face with her, and I know it is not the same as being there. I am humbled with joy that she has been praying for me, which explains the blessings lately I have seen during this interesting journey I've gone through lately. Sincerely, Jeff.
Jeff is a cousin through blood, and he's an amazing young man. I tried to think of some things from the past that involved Jeff. Brenda Bird and I taught Sunday school, and our classrooms were adjacent. And I had the 4-year-olds and she had the 3-year-olds. Now, I don't know whether it was her idea or mine, but she said, let's take the kids to the zoo. Okay, so the church had a van, we got it all prepared and ready to go for these little people. And Brenda and I, we had another young lady that went with us, and we were talking, we said, who's gonna take these little boys to the bathroom? Who do we ask to go with us? It was Jeff. And he was a joy. He jumped in just like he was everybody's big brother, and he just did an amazing job. Another memory I have of him, years ago, we had the dinner for 8, and we went to different people's homes. The people who hosted the dinner, they had to do the meat and the potatoes, and everybody else did everything else. We went to George and Thelma Kelsey's house. Jeff is the one that made their dish, and there was some kind of chicken in it. Was amazing. But anyway, he's an all-around kind of a guy. He's had a terrifically tough year. He's had some health issues, work issues, and I love him. He's a great man.
Thank you. Next, Linda. Linda's been very busy this year.
I can't hold still.
Put a pot in your head.
Yeah. I don't sleep. Where's Tina? Tina? There she is. Come on up here, Tina. Tina has grown up in this church. She's raised her family in this church. And I love her with all my heart. And I was in the hall, and she said, oh, how wonderful it would be to have a pink and blue and cream Afghan. And I just happened to overhear it, and I said, I'm making this for Tina. And I love you. I hope it gives you peace, comfort, and feel my love and everything. Take care of that love. This Afghan is a one of a kind. If you don't know, I have a terrible time with attention span. And this is hard, Afghan, but you have to pay attention. I ripped it out more than I knit it in. And so I told Rhonda, this is for Rhonda Colfer, and she can't be with us. She's down surveying her home in Florida. And so she couldn't be here today. And so this was my test in attention. And I know she'll love it. And it's one of a kind because I will never, ever, ever make it again. Lori Howard, last year, when you had a tremendous, terrible thing happen to you, and I was making this for you at the time. And he said, can you get it finished? And boy, I started knitting, and I said, I'm never gonna make it. And so Mary has something at the funeral home that she gave to you. And then later I gave her sister-in-law, Wendy. And so I finished it. And no, how beautiful is it? Well, every step, you know how hard it was for me to wait a whole year to give this to you? There you go. I had to wait a whole year to see that. Yeah. There it comes with this. Yeah, it comes with that, see? No, don't hold yourself. Oh. There. I love you so much. Yeah. Made it just especially for you. Love you. I had to wait a whole year to give it to you. Here. Oh.
I can't see going downstairs.
Dadger. Here comes my buddy Dadger. Over the last couple of years, I've gotten to know my cousin Dadger. And I know he likes green. And this will keep me warm and feel my love in it. And he is going to be a wonderful witness for the Lord, for young people, to encourage them and keep faith. And I love you so much, Dadger. And hope to see you up north next year.
Nope, the rest of yours are over on this side.
Thank you. Help me out here. You know, my memory isn't so good anymore. Rhonda. Green? Go back and make blue. Oh, it's beautiful. No. The only green I'll ever like I said.
You gotta wear that at that Michigan State.
Put a button on it or something.
Oh, that's nice.
Rhonda lost her brother this year. I just couldn't imagine. I have one brother, and I can't imagine the heartache that she's went through. I love you so much. Even the green. Wow.
Take a picture.
Leave it to me. I told Carla, I said, I don't mean to make a scene, but it just follows me.
The green was meant to be.
Yep. It was beautiful.
Isn't that green and white?
Exactly. See? It's not green and white, Linda, so you're good.
That's
There
right.
you go.
It's grass.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Jacinda. Who is accepting for Jacinda today? David? This is, Jacinda had to work today, and this is her son, David. And David and Jacinda and their family have undergone many, many problems. But things are getting better now. They are improving. And that family is so filled with love, and they care for each other. And David loves to come to church with his grandma. And so I made this wrap for Jacinda with love, to keep her warm and to remember just how much I love you guys. God bless you. Okay. This is for Yvonne. I don't believe about, yeah, Yvonne Borso.
I'm getting it for her.
Oh, thank you, Mary. Mary Beth is going to accept for
Miss Borso is my daughter-in-law's grandmother, and, she's. So we tried to encourage her to come, but I told her to go pick her up.
Okay.
But, I'm going to give it to my daughter-in-law, and my daughter-in-law will give it to her.
My next door neighbor, Carol Armstrong, said she thinks that's the prettiest one I ever made.
It's gorgeous.
I love this purple.
It's the bling.
Yeah, so we love.
Yes, I will give it to her, and I will transfer the hug from you.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Do I continue on this way?
Well, just point out, you made, what, 2 shawls for the funeral home and an Afghan?
Yes, this Afghan down here I made for the funeral home. And I made this for the funeral home. Oh, yeah, this one. This is a treasure. I really love this one, and it's gonna bring comfort and love to someone. So is that it, Kat?
Well, you made 2 baby blankets.
Okay. Oh, and the sweater.
Oh, and you made a sweater too?
Right, because I knit the sweater and scarf, because I thought, the mothers, they get cold, so they would, like that one, to keep warm, and it's there someplace.
The one on the very bottom.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I made.
And then there was striped one next to that yellow sweater. The yellow sweater right in the middle, there's a striped one for the
Yes,
left side.
this one. And then I brought those little shoes and a little veil. And they're given with much love and prayer and blessings. Thank you very much. But that's over with. Now I don't have anybody to help me get down these stairs. Thanks, Kara. Now, I wouldn't want to go out with a bang.
Mary Beth, you get to follow that
were playing musical chairs. My shawl that I had was for Jessica Bird, and she is not here, but all of this yarn I got from the vestibule out there. Different Sundays, I picked different colors. And so this is all made with yarn that was donated. And Linda, I did not forget, I have the pattern for you. Where'd you go?
Right here.
Oh, I have the pattern for you in my back pocket. I printed it out and forgot to print out, but if you can get on YouTube, you can find how to make it. So I wrote it all down for you. But this is for Jessica. I thought that the earth tones would be really good because I was thinking of missions. So if there are places where it's not so clean, the dirt and all of that would blend in good with the brown. So kind of trying to think about not having to wash it a lot and all of that. And that was the only shawl that I made. I had just a couple baby blankets, not sure where they were. One was light blue. It was just a small little thing somewhere.
They're both over there on the left side of that,
Oh, okay. So this is one baby blanket that I made. I really love that circle pattern. It's easy for me to do. I can whip it up fast and it looks beautiful. So this is one, and then this one is the other one. I loved the pattern on this. It's kind of another shell pattern, but I like it. And then I made another in the round. This one here for the veterans for the funeral home.
oh, that's nice.
And I think that was all.
Okay, Rebecca, will you just stand? Rebecca made 10 baby quilts. All the little quilts over there, with her sewing machine, needles and fabric, all go to the pregnancy crisis center. Ruth, and Ruth is not here, so Carol's going to present for her.
I had to make a list. That's right. My mother made 21 of the beanie hats up there, and 4 dolls, and 5 sweater hat sets, 7 blankets, and 4 car seat blankets over there. Wow. That's what she did. Also, for the funeral home, she made 3 blankets for the ladies and 2 for the men. So that's what she did.
Do you know which shawl she made for
the
them?
shawl for Darlene, okay, that's,
Darlene's been having a lot of heart issues recently and surgery on her right shoulder. Imagine having to have your shoulder in a sling and your husband do all the cooking. And Jennifer Struble.
Jennifer Struble. Right here. My mother made this for Jennifer. Jennifer was so wonderful to come and take care of my mother when she broke her hip and she was in rehab. You came there, and then she came to her home and she fractured her spine. Helped care for her and stayed all night with her, and she was wonderful. So you give wonderful care. Okay, and let's see, then Charlotte. My mother was glad to make this for Charlotte's Aunt Betty. And And I wondered if Charlotte, you would tell us about your Aunt Betty.
Yes, she's very special to us. She was, her husband was my uncle, and we were very close. And she fell and broke her hip about a year and a half ago. And for the last 5-6 years, my uncle lost his toes and stuff, and she'd been taking care of him at home for a lot. And then she fell and broke her hip, and he got worse, and he passed away in January. And we were over there seeing him, and she said, "You're going to Florida, and you're in Florida when he passes. You do not come home." Because she knew I'd come home. And she wouldn't let us come home, but she's a sweetheart. We just love her to pieces. She does everything for everybody. She used to net and do. She made quilts. I have 3 beautiful quilts that she made. And she's just a really sweetheart. She's 87 years old now. Oh, she'll love this. She'll love it. I'm going to try to take it to her this week. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so Tara, you made one item?
I just made one this year. For the funeral home this year, I just have this one poncho here. Next year, I have the yarn I used last year that somebody had donated, so. Pretty red, and nice deep purple there. Hopefully like this one.
And then, Sarah.
I had not knitted anything, I'd say 3 years ago. I learned how to make washcloths. And then last October, I started knitting the shawls, and all of my fabric, or all of the yarn that I used was from a pile that my mother had. My mother passed away in '89. So it's been sitting in a bag for a long time. Tara had some that she had left over as well. So all of mine are leftover yarn because I wasn't sure I was worthy enough to buy yarn. I made 4 shawls, and then I had a dear friend who lost her husband right after, so I gave one away already. This one, and this one, and the blue one. Yeah, no, and this one. This was Shawl for my mom. Yeah. So I had the 3 shawls that were going to go to the funeral home. This one I wasn't gonna give. The whole time I was getting it, I was picturing a family. I have a family who I see in my mind. So, and then when I went back them up, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this one. I pictured the scene. I pictured a very particular man. So I it's meant to be somewhere. And then for the pregnancy center, I had this one again. This was my mom's yarn. And it looks like a beach. So, and then this as well. So, you guys can't see it. But the pink one that's up there was clear. So, and then I broke my thumb. So everything stopped at the beginning of March. So, but working on it again now. So.
Okay, I guess it has to be my turn. And so, Charlotte, you get to come up again. These aren't for Charlotte.
No.
These are for her daughters, Jane and Jean, who neither could be here today. And both redheads, and they went to school with my 2 redheads.
Yeah.
Jane has had surgery.
Jane had surgery last fall, and she's doing very well now. And the doctor said they shouldn't reoccur until she's in her 80s, and she shouldn't have to worry anymore about it. And so she's doing well. Her husband took her on her, she's not gonna like that. She can't do that to me, because she turned 49 on Friday. But her husband flew her to Belize for her birthday. And so then he flew my other daughter, Jean, down, and he flew Rhonda down, because they're best friends. And she did not know they were coming, so she had a very happy week. And Jean would have come today, except she landed home at 1:30 this morning, and that's too much to come from Holland and back over here.
Yeah, and so
She,
this one
well,
is
she
for
had a
Jean.
major headache.
Jean's been having, physical difficulties.
From
She's,
many concussions.
from concussions and other things, and she's a very active girl.
Yes, she has been, she's had to learn
And
to
she's
slow
had to
down.
learn
a lot,
to
and it's
slow down.
frustrating to her.
So while she's slowing down, she can wrap herself in this and, know
So
that
she'll love it.
still praying for both of them.
Okay, they appreciate it, I'll tell you, she does.
And last, Kelly Thayer. I didn't know Kelly until a few weeks ago. She was here and gave a presentation. I didn't meet her then either, but I saw her on the live feed, and I loved her presentation. Reminded me of when missionaries came to churches and showed their pictures of people who have so little and who still need God's love, and they need to know God's love, and she has been willing to go. And I just want you to know how much that blessed me, that you were willing to go and see those people fly and make it. It's gorgeous. For you. It's gorgeous. You seem very colorful. So I gave
And
you
always
the most
looking for
colorful.
something warm.
Well, I hope this.
Oh,
this is
that's
beautiful.
beautiful. Thank you so
She's
much.
a missionary to Togo, which I had never heard of until
Most people haven't.
just this teeny weeny little country in Africa. Just teeny weeny little country. But God loves all of them there, and I'm so thankful that you were, and you're going back for
I am in January.
in January. So blessings there for you.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
so glad you could come today. I love you already. Okay, I think that's all our presentations today.
I know, because I
See
had
how
to be
helpful
helped
she
down the
is?
last time I was here too.
That's all our presentations. If you're here with what you've received, we'd like you to come up to the front so we could get a picture.
Mary, do you have anything to say?
Mary wants.
Oh,
I'd like to say something.
That's right. I have Mary. How could I forget? The massive presentation to Mary, yes, and I know she has stories to tell us.
I do.
So, you know, for all of you that have been here year after year, I repeat some of the same things, which is the fact that when Ruth contacted me about the prayer ministry, you know, the Shawl ministry, it was just so awesome. And I have been working with your church for many years on this, and I just wish all of you could be there when I present these shawls to families. I have some families that we have to give maybe 2 or 3 because, you know, you can't slight one person or 2. And it is wonderful, but what I gather most of all, the warmth that is surrounded with the shawls that are made from you. But when I explain about it as a prayer ministry and that they are being prayed for, and it's like such a warm feeling. And most of the time, that's when you see the tears, is when you say, you know what, these women are praying for you, even though you don't know them. They are praying for your healing as I give you this shawl and as I present it to you. And even before you know that you're here encountering a death, they don't know that. They just present these to me. I explain to them how we have a dedication day for it, and we receive them, and it is beautiful. So I want to thank you all for that. It is truly a ministry. I do encourage people to send a thank you note. I hope some do, but I always send it with that and in the nice little packet and, you know, the bag that you give, and it's just wonderful to give it to them. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for allowing us to minister to this community. I love how you say the funeral home, but it is to this community. And it is just awesome that people, many of them are wearing the shawls or the lap blankets or just the love that they can feel with it. And just as recently as this week, I gave one to a mother who had lost her adult child unexpectedly. And I tell you, she could barely stand up. And, you know, I handed it to her and she just hugged hugged onto that. And she called me the next day and she said, I slept with that, just hugging it. And she said, what warmth I received and what blessings I felt like I received. So again, it's the prayers, it's God's work that's working through, as you say, the material, the knitting, but mostly from your heart to your hands, passed on to somebody else. So please continue to do that. It's so wonderful. Thank you. I thought of something when you were saying that you had the little animals. Those are kind of nice too. I was just thinking about that because, sometimes you got kids come in for a grandparent or something, and, you got to be careful. You can't just, you got 3 or 4 little kids, you got to be careful on what you're doing. So I don't extend too far when it gets to grandparents. But I was just thinking how fun that would be too. It's just if there's a little extra material. I can't knit. I don't even sew buttons on. I mean, that is one talent I don't have, or the patience. But even something like that, I was thinking sometimes you might have a family that just a little child or something that would enjoy just a little squishy animal, a bear, doll or dog or whatever. And then lastly, I did want to say, at the end of last year, after we did this, soon after the first of the year, I had a father that died, and we gave 2 of the children's shawls away to their girls. And mother just loved them. She just thanked us so much, and she did have those girls send me a little thank you note, and I was hoping they'd pass it on to you. But when she came in to take care of some business, the 2 girls had written a little note thanking for those. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for all your efforts that go into it. I appreciate it very much.
And Roxanne from the Pregnancy Center, is she here? She usually comes. She's usually so grateful for all the things that we do for her. I thought she was going to be here today, but apparently not. Pray for her, whatever circumstance kept her from us. So there again, if as soon as we're done, if you could come with your shawl so we could just get a picture. And we thank Glenn for taking all our photographs, and they come out so beautifully, and we keep them all in a binder so that we can see from year to year how this has grown. And we expect that the Lord will use it in ways that we can't even imagine sometimes. So thank you. Let's just, Pastor, would you close us with prayer?
We are so thankful for this opportunity that you have given us to be able to minister to the lives of individuals and the changes that make the encouragement to them. I thank you again for the ladies and how they have applied themselves and allowed you to use them in special ways. We thank you for every one of them. We thank you for those that have received them. Pray that it will be a blessing to them, and those that go to the funeral home and over to the Pregnancy Center. I pray that they might become real sources of encouragement, and through it all, and we might see heaven become even richer than those that trust you because of what your people have done. Dismiss us with your blessing. We will praise you for it. In Christ's name. Amen.
I'm going to make you take a picture. Thank you.
You're fine.
I almost went behind you. Turn around, Kelly. Turn around and smile.
All right, so there we go. All right. Thanks. Well, it's green. It's really not your color, is it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I told my daughter-in-law, I said, I wouldn't pay, because, you know, it's my daughter-in-law's friend. I said, I don't pay one for her, but I know the other ladies have so much